Jaleel White will always be synonymous with the lovable character Steve Urkel on the hit TV show Family Matters. Since his first appearance on the sitcom in 1989, he rejuvenated the show and became a fan favorite. But off-screen, Jaleel has proven to be all sorts of problematic. Today, we'll be discussing this polarizing figure in pop culture history. But before we get into it, do it! Do it! Everybody, E-R-R-G snacks. Did I do that? Our online concession stand at rrgsnacks.com has all of our favorite goodies back in stock, from Western barbecue bacon jerky, freeze-dried goodies, butter toffee peanuts, and gummy sour peach rings. This story begins sometime around 1984 when Jaleel auditioned for the role of Rudy Huxtable on The Cosby Show. He told Entertainment Weekly that the audition process was long and emotional, lasting up to 6 hours, and Jaleel's agent assured him he had gotten the role. They invited him back for what Jaleel thought was a final audition. And all of a sudden, a little girl by the name of Keisha Knight Pulliam waltzed into the room. By the end of that audition, they chose Keisha to play the role of Rudy, even though the character was initially written as the Huxtable's son. Jaleel told Entertainment Weekly, "I went home and I cried my eyes out. But I did things that a kid does when they're hurt and they're acting out. My mom had to grab me and shake me. She was like, 'If you ever react like that again to an audition, you're done acting.'" Jaleel gathered himself together and went on to land more gigs. After sharing this story with the world, some people now believe The Cosby Show dodged a bullet by not casting Jaleel as Rudy, because years later, his attitude and sense of entitlement would put him on Front Street. 12-year-old Jaleel was initially supposed to have a one-time spot on Family Matters. In an episode of Uncensored, he recalled how he knocked it out of the park at his initial table reading, and the higher-ups took notice. He appeared on the program in 1989 during Season 1, Episode 4, and stole the show. The audience wanted more of his high-pitched, squeaky voice, suspenders, and high-water pants, so he was added to the cast. However, not everyone greeted him with open arms. He told Uncensored that castmates weren't feeling him, and he didn't feel welcomed on set. It might have had something to do with the rest of the cast thinking he was showboating and wanted all the attention. He was given more lines up until he became the focal point of the sitcom, with most storylines revolving around him. His Family Matters co-stars, Reginald VelJohnson and Jo Marie Payton, who played Carl and Harriet Winslow, accused Jaleel of being challenging to work with. When Jaleel was asked about the situation on an episode of Andy Cohen Live, Jaleel said he wasn't surprised that they felt that way. He went on to say that since Jo Marie and Reginald are now over the age of 70, he wasn't about to argue with them because he respected his elders.
Shots fired, shots fired. That's what you call a backhanded compliment.
In other words, he wasn't about to take any accountability for what went down between them back in the day. Behind the scenes, there was way more tomfoolery going on than people realized. Not only was Jaleel being difficult, but Jo Marie told Entertainment Tonight that as his stardom rose, his attitude worsened, and his ego was out of control. When Jaleel played Steve Urkel's gangsta cousin from Detroit named Cornelius, Jo Marie said Jaleel got carried away as he morphed into the character. She said she tried to explain to him that some of the things he was doing as the character wouldn't pass the standards and practices of a family show. She said Jaleel got so mad he started kicking and screaming and even tried to physically fight her.
Yeah. Why she ain't scoop his little ass up and whoop his narrow behind?
Their co-star Darius McCrary, who played Eddie Winslow, had to hold her back because Jo Marie was ready to knuck since Jaleel wanted to buck. Years later, she blamed it all on Jaleel being a kid. She said he was allowed to run around and do and say whatever he wanted on set, so she couldn't place all the blame on him. She told People magazine, "Yes, sometimes you bump heads and things, but I'll always love him. He was always a child to me, and I don't care how old he is, he's still a child to me. And I forgive everything because I have that kind of heart to get past stuff." Jaleel appeared on Dancing with the Stars in 2012, and according to online sources, he was a menace behind the scenes of that show, too.
Not again.
Reports surfaced that Jaleel stepped on his partner Kim Johnson's foot during rehearsals. When she expressed she was in pain, Jaleel felt she was going overboard and allegedly started yelling at her. A source said Jaleel was out of line, and other contestants and dancers had to step in to calm him down. Jaleel saw things differently and said the reports were exaggerated. He said a bunch of tabloid reporters concocted the stories about his behavior on Dancing with the Stars.
Sure they did.
As news of his on-set behavior made the rounds online, people began to refer to Jaleel as Jerkel. Jaleel has had some accusations thrown his way, making people like him even less. In 2010, TMZ reported that his baby mama, Bridget Hardy, accused him of getting physical with her while their infant daughter was in the car.
Who had a baby with Jaleel?
She claimed his fist connected with her fake titty, and when they got home, he slid 5 fingers straight across her face. Jaleel's rep claimed Bridget was lying. However, the LAPD sided with Jaleel and decided not to press charges. Even though he was off the hook, they continued their custody battle. When Jaleel appeared on Dancing with the Stars in 2012, Bridget's old allegations against him reared their ugly head. Jaleel told People magazine that Bridget was just jealous because he was doing so well in life, and she was trying to bring him down. He said it was extra hurtful for the mother of his child to try and tarnish his good name. Jaleel said he had done everything right, including paying child support, and his main focus was the welfare of his child. According to People magazine, they eventually agreed to joint custody after a lengthy battle. However, the entire custody issue and alleged DV situation left a sour taste in a lot of people's mouths.
Now, I ain't saying there ain't some good daddies out here. I know that there are. But it always raises a red flag for me, personally, when a father tries to get full custody of a child and the mother is not just an outright crackhead. I mean, the mother has to really just be living really foul for a father to want full custody. Other than that, I feel like a father who's trying to gain full custody, especially of a girl child, a daughter, for what? For what, sir? Why? Other than just being a complete prick. We all know that men do not nurture the way a mother does. I don't argue with your mammy. If you do, you are the exception and not the rule, sir. It's just biological. That's how women are wired. And I know there's exceptions to every rule. Don't go down that road with me, okay? But this is weird to me. Wanting to be in control, wanting to hurt the opposing party, wanting to win, wanting things to go their way, no matter what's best for the child. Because men like this will get full custody of a child and then take this child right on over to his mama's house to raise. Tell me I'm lying.
During a 2024 interview about his upcoming book, which we've linked in the description box, Jaleel discussed Family Matters' legacy. He said blackness is treated as a one-size-fits-all situation, and because Family Matters was so wholesome and a part of ABC's TGIF lineup, it didn't get the respect it deserved. He said,
if it's not a hood story, it's not a black story.
Jaleel explained that it's interesting that Family Matters is never mentioned among black people when they name their favorite shows. He also admitted that sometimes he feels left out of the black community.
Boo-hoo. Crybaby.
Well, Black Twitter let Jaleel have it. They said it wasn't that Family Matters wasn't black enough, but it was just too safe and too family-friendly, which is what it was supposed to be. People also suggested the show was too unserious and it didn't deal with enough real-life issues. Some said the show didn't focus on black culture as much as its peers and hasn't aged well. Others pointed out that even though the cast was black, the writers were white, which was very evident. Others blatantly said the Urkel character was why the show was brought down. Commenters said that as Jaleel got older, the character got less funny, leading to the demise of Family Matters because by that point, Jaleel was a 21-year-old grown-ass man, and no one wanted to see him snorting all over the place. As an extra jab, some online users said the show should have been built around the characters Carl and Harriet. Considering how Jaleel describes himself as the show's star, you know that probably ticked him the hell off. How many people just can't stand Jaleel White? A lot, apparently. Because in 2006, someone spread a rumor that he had taken his own life. The hoax spread like wildfire online. And as you can imagine, there were countless insensitive comments made about him on online message boards. Jaleel had to tell everyone he was alive and well and that they needed to chill out. He also explained that he was sick of the public and the media always saying negative things about him. The hoax was basically a way to make fun of Jaleel's career and mock him for not getting much further than Urkel. However, Jaleel would have the last laugh, since around that time he was starring in the highly anticipated movie Who Made the Potato Salad?
You joking, right? Is that a joke? That's a joke, right?
In the end, it's safe to say that most people love Family Matters, so they do their best to separate Steve Urkel from Jaleel White. Although he cemented his legacy as a significant figure in pop culture, he's still one of those celebs that people simply love to hate. If you enjoyed this video, let us know down below. And thanks for watching RRG.